Hey, it's Steve Barcelo, Cryptozoology, Paranormal Museum. I'm out at the park. Just got out here, do a little exploring. I'm not out with anybody else, just going to do this myself for at least a day. Going to go out tonight and see what we can explore. I've got a good site. It's the weekend, so I'm expecting the park to be fairly noisy. Although it's dead quiet now, I got to say it's not bad at all. I'm expecting a little bit of noise, maybe some families and stuff during the early evening hours, so I'm just going to kind of take it slow and see what's happening. But I'm just going to go do a little exploring. I'll bring the camera with me, see what we can find out there. I've got some basic equipment, parabolic dish, of course I've got the thermal scopes, things of that sort, casting material if I need it. And of course just all the basics you got for camping is, camp lights, Gatorade, the essentials. We get a lot of good evidence been coming out by the creek here. Now, I haven't been out here in a while. I've been so busy with town and all the other stuff going on with the museum. So this is why I just need to get away, clear my head, get away from all the craziness. And I'm long overdue for being out and doing these exploring and investigations, I should say. I'm not sure where I'm going to go. I have the site for a few days. I have the opportunity to stay here, and I'm thinking after a couple of days here, move farther south, and I'm going to see if I can do some paranormal investigating, which I can do here too. We've got all kinds of crazy stuff. So I brought all my equipment, paranormal equipment, obviously, like I said, the thermal scopes and stuff. And it's not as hot as it has been, but it is still a little bit warm. I just set up a tent here. That's why you probably see a little orange color coming off me. But So I'm just going to see how it goes, but it's very still. So I do have a couple of battery-operated fans. If I have to, I'll use those. So I'm just kind of chilling for now, just waiting to see who comes through, and I'll add to the video, and we'll see what's going on. This is a spot down here where we actually had a paranormal event. We actually saw this Confederate soldier come out from behind a tree. I believe it was that tree right over there. Step out and then go back and disappear. So I'm curious to see what I'll get tonight in here. It's a little bit of a clearing here, so I'll get a little bit from my campsite, which you can see is right up here. One of the reasons I wanted to get this spot. Right now there's not many people here, but I'm hoping we get something good tonight. There, I'm just hanging out by the my campsite here. I've got my tent set up behind me. I've got a canopy tent above. This way I can leave all the rain hood and everything off the tent, so help it vent more so it won't get too hot tonight. I've got some pretty cool little gadgets I use to keep cool. I do a lot of Ryobi stuff. They have these little tiny batteries. These things are great. Dual speeds, they adjust. Actually, this has got the really big battery on it. You can clamp them on the things. I just have it sitting on one of the tripods here. You're probably going to hear it on the microphone a little bit. A lot of Ryobi stuff's great. These are the lights we use. I have multiple different types. Once again, they work off the regular 18-volt batteries, which they're great because you can actually push them to see how well charged they are. And the nice thing about these too, they have the USB jacks on a lot of the items, so you can plug in accessories or charge your phone and hang it from something. They're just handy as all heck to have. Thermal scopes and stuff I haven't brought out yet. So far it's been quiet. I've been baiting. I've been throwing apples out since I got here early. And so far I've heard no movement. So far the campsite's been very quiet. Very few people here. I apologize. Little bugs following around. I've been spraying myself. Hasn't been too bad so far. I'm worried about when it gets to be dusk. Parabolic dish so we can listen for sounds. See if I pick up anything out there. Try to record something or at least detect something. But so So my plan is to stay here, do some hikes out, see what else I can find out. I've done some just brief things, just taking rough exploring. I didn't want to bother to take the camera out with me because I was busy throwing apples out and stuff. I bite the apples first. This way you get some more scent on them, get them to attract creatures in quicker. So I'm creating a path behind me where it slopes off back towards the campsite. So I'm hoping in the past, we usually try to do it a day or so ahead. I didn't get that opportunity. So hopefully this will work for us. Another little gadget I got in. I forgot I ordered it. This little thing. I was ordering some stuff in from B&H. It's a little tiny lantern, and you can charge things on it. It's got the little charger on there. You can see it's got, you can turn either half the light on or full light on, and it's got dimmer on it. So if you do just half, it's good for 500 hours. That's quite a bit. Full at low, 400 hours. The worst you get if you have it both sides lit up at high power is 4 hours, which, you know, especially like in a tent, something like this, you don't need that. You just need some basic light just so you can see what you're doing in there. Impressive little thing. Haven't played with it, obviously still in the box, but it obviously works. So I'm looking forward to messing with this. I love gadgets. I like anything that you can use to charge items too. We've become so reliant on, in our case, obviously cell phones, but even charging batteries for cameras. I carry a Jackery too, so but even the Jackeries crap out after a while. And you could have something small like this charging something, even like you have rechargeable bug lights. That's still buried in the vehicle. I haven't taken that out, which you don't want right next to the tent. You want away. Although if you get something in your tent and you zip it in, it's a way to get it away from you to go to the bug light and kill it there. But yeah, these little items are nice to have, especially even just to have around the house. God forbid there's a blackout or power outage. And this is very inexpensive. I do not remember the price. I think it was $12 or less or something like that. Everyone wants to really know, you know, put a comment below and I'll go back and find the invoice or look it up. But it's a cute little thing. And actually I forgot had another microphone coming in. I forgot this was in the box. I go, what is this? I forgot I ordered it. That's how cheap it was. I just kind of threw it in. Most of the time, one of the things we use out here is headlamps, of course, to see. I've got some new headlamps. They've been to truck. These are a bunch of LED cob lights. And I ordered them before I did a lot of research on them, but I'm going to play with it tonight. It's the rechargeable, and people claim they're great. Nice and bright since they go across your forehead, but apparently one of the issues is they don't last long. So for us, we need hours, literally, preferably 3 or 4 hours worth of light out there, especially if you get turned around or something. Apparently these things die off in like an hour. So I might use one of those as a test thing tonight, put one of them on. I don't even know if they're fully charged or in the box. But we test different equipment to see what works better and doesn't. We're forever upgrading. Like the silly things like these fans are just lifesavers, just to give you a little bit of moving air. It's very still. You can hear there's bugs out here. Before it was very quiet, and I was kind of excited about that, hoping that meant there's a predator in the area. But then the birds started to pick up a little bit, so we'll see how tonight is. But it's warm, but it's a lot better than it has been. So I'm happy for that. I don't know if I'm going to spend 2 nights here. I got the campsite for 2 nights. I'm going to see how it is. It's the weekend. Like I said, normally I try to get out during the middle of the week. So if it gets crowded, if this does start to fill up around 5 or 6 o'clock tonight, I'll probably just do the one night, get what I can, do some research, then probably pack up tomorrow and then head to another location and hit another spot, because I'm planning on being on the road for at least 2 or 3 days. Next weekend I will be on the road for 4 days, and that's Gettysburg Battlefield Bash, which I'm all excited about. This is the first one since COVID, so I guess it's been 3 years since the last one. And last time I went there, we had a blast. We had a good time. It was great networking and just seeing everybody. Last time I was there, I had some interns with me, so I wasn't able to partake in the after parties and the fun stuff. So this time I'll make sure I go back and pack up my stuff up to the room. I'm staying at the hotel where the event is, and I'll be able to go down and hobnob and hang around and do the meet and greet thing. that's about it now. I'm hearing some crows off in the distance. But so far I've gotten, a lot of the campsites have slips in paper there saying they're rented, but I'm not seeing people come in, so I assume they're driving in late. You know, it is Saturday. Usually most people get in by Friday, but I guess I'm not sure what the official check-in time is. I thought it was 1 or 2, but it could be a little bit later. A lot of weird bugs flying around. So far they've been kind of avoiding me. My canopy is a commercial canopy, but it's like a rescue. So it's a bright orange with a fluorescent reflective stripe around it. And the bugs seem to be drawn to it, which is not good. They seem to like the color orange, so, which maybe is good. Maybe it'll keep them off the tents. This is that tent. I haven't done a video on my camping stuff in a while. And I'll do another video showing the put up and take down. It's one of those 60-second tents, and I tell you, I love them. They go up quick, they take down quick, and so far I've had very good luck with them. And this is a comp top. This guy got this one, I believe it was Amazon, and it wasn't that expensive. The only thing I would have done with this, I think this is, I can't remember if this is a 4 or 6 person tent, but I think the next step was the 8. I mean, if you get like a 6 person tent, it's not going to fit 6 people unless you stack them like cordwood. I mean, so don't go by that. I mean, this one here is decent size, but one thing I wish I could stand in, I just have to hunch in here. And if I would have got the one a little bit bigger, which I don't know if would have been as easy to put up with just one person, but the only thing about that would have given me a little more room, of course, but it would have given that little bit of height. It would have given me a little over 6 foot inside. So, but lots of gear, of course, cook stoves, all the obviously stuff, coolers. One of the things I don't have, which I'd like to get down the road, is one of those battery-operated little coolers, like a refrigerator. The ones you can put in your RVs and stuff, so you can actually plug them 110 or 12 volt, and a lot of them have a battery in there, so they'll last for X amount of time if you keep that charged, or once again plug it into a jackery or something like that. Plug it into your car, you know, especially if I get older vehicles. You know, I carry a battery jumper just in case, God forbid. So I've been out to campsites where I've left the door open, I had the trunk open, the lights on, and next thing you know, the battery's weak the next day. Although I do have a new battery in this one. But I try to be prepared. I try to make sure I'm not going to get stuck somewhere. It's embarrassing trying to call AAA when you're out in the middle of nowhere. But so yeah, I'm just going to wait. I'm waiting for it to at least get dark sometime after around 5 or 6, and I've got most of the equipment set up. Then I'll set up a little bit more. If it gets too buggy, I'm going to move my vantage point into the tent, and this way I can monitor from in there. And if I hear or see something, then I'll venture out this way. At least I don't get eaten alive by bugs. But so far, a little bit of off sprayed on. I've been pretty good, and I brought Ranger too. So if I go out, deeper in the woods, I'll spray myself with that. I didn't bring snake boots or anything. I forgot to pack those up. But that's it. I'll talk to you guys a little bit. The park's filling up. We're getting more people in here. It's still been pretty quiet, so that's good. A little bit of noise. Had a barn owl making some noises back up this direction, which is an area we've had noises come to us before. I'm not thinking anything suspicious. I'm assuming it's a barn owl. We have had barn owls respond, and then all of a sudden you get a call that just doesn't sound quite right. I did not get that today. These sound like just the barn owls. I've got the Taipan TM25384. These AGMs I love. These are great scopes. We've phased away from the flares. These things come with a tripod mount. They actually talk to your phones. They're just great scopes. If you're looking to get a scope, go look into these. Everyone's got them. Hasn't been disappointed so far. That's a little bit more expensive one. It's a nice one. They have some start like $300, but it depends on what you're doing. I mean, we need stuff. I've been taking lots of pictures of butterflies and lizards, salamanders, a toad. I mean, everything's visiting me at the campsite today. I'm trying to get as many pictures as I can on my iPhone. But so far, I mean, you can hear pretty quiet. The noises you're hearing back that way are campers. You got a couple of kids, and you've got a couple of dogs out there which are playing with the kids. So usually that's not going to die down till around 9:30 or so. I'll see how it goes. It could be, it seems like it's pretty quiet already, so I think we'll be fine for tonight. Like I said, I've got my tent set up right behind here, facing the woods. The site I'm in slopes off. There's a little bit of vegetation here, but it's not too bad. I got a couple of spots with the thermal camera. I should have no problem seeing any kind of movement. I have baited with apples, so I'm just waiting for the time to get right. It's cooled down enough where I was able to shut my little handy air conditioner down, so my little Ryobi fan. So we'll check on the battery on that. But I'm going to charge a few items here. All the important stuff's charged and ready to go. Bugs, not much in the way of birds, like I said, the barn owls. So far it's been pretty quiet, I think, with the thermal scopes and the parabolic dishes. If there's anything going on today, I think I had a chance of getting a little bit of evidence. So time will tell. Right now I'm just chilling and waiting. I tell you, I picked up, it's the weekend, which is, like I said, I usually don't come out on weekends. I try to do it in the middle of the week, but boy, the weather's perfect. The high was like 81, and we've been in the high 90s with crazy humidity. And so this is nice. It's supposed to be in the high 60s tonight. So perfect weather. Hopefully it's not too buggy. I don't think it will be. Hasn't been so bad so far. I can get back out on the trails here. Now, video-wise, it's very hard for me to get anything decent on the trails. I'm going to be relying on the AGM, the scope, to get stuff, and I'll have a headlamp on and stuff. But that stuff I'll have to insert later and then go back and explain to you what we got. Just the Sony I'm using actually has night vision, but I don't have a night vision light with me, and the light in Sony is like tiny. It'd be fine to probably set it up so you can take the hood off. You'd probably be able to see me if I want to do a little editing that way or video that way, but why bother? I'll just set up a light. Getting ready to go out a little bit, just waiting for things to calm down, and I'm very excited that the park's not too noisy or too insane. I'll talk to you guys a little bit. Alright, finally got dark out. I got a little fire going, a little ambient light just to help the camera. My neighbor next door has been playing acoustic guitar, which is great. That's a great thing, and hopefully attract things in. I've already baited with apples. So far I've heard some noise in the distance. I went down on the trail, didn't see anything, used a thermal scope. I couldn't tell what it was. It sounded like branches being snapped back towards the trail or behind it. I'm hoping these apples and the baiting brings whatever it is back in. You can hear the door shut next door. Neighbor next door came in. They've been very quiet. They just blew up a mattress, so I think they're settling in for the night. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I'm hoping we get some good stuff tonight. You can hear we got some crickets and stuff. It hasn't gone quiet. It was pretty quiet when I first came here earlier. I'm not sure what that was about. But I'm ready to go. We'll see what we get tonight. I'll keep the fire going. I've got enough wood. I don't know. We'll see what's going on. I'm living off eating parts of the apples before I throw them out. Got some ding-dongs. Potato chips. I didn't bring any real food. So I'm going to make do with what I got. But the park's quiet. Everyone's going to bed. I'm hoping the next hour or two I'll have some luck. Or we'll have some luck. Alright, I'll talk to you guys soon. Alright, it was pretty uneventful last night. Barn owls, debris falling from the trees. The park was pretty quiet. Neighbors were quiet. I think I'm going to do a quick hike down the trail where I heard some branches breaking or some kind of activity. I used a thermal scope hoping to get something. I saw something hot a couple of times. I couldn't tell if it was a deer. Didn't look like a deer. Might have been a bear or something, or maybe even a large cat or something. But something was moving out there. I'm not going to jump to conclusions it's anything crazy. But you can listen. It's nice and quiet. Considering this campsite's about half capacity. It's just been a very quiet group. The gentleman that was next door left early this morning, and he was playing acoustic guitar, so I was all excited about that, and hoping that would bring some things in, making things a little bit more interested. It's another cool morning. It's going to get warmer. I'm debating whether to spend another day here or move on to another location. I'm spending at least 3 days on the road, and then I got to get back into town, get things organized, and then back on the road Thursday to Gettysburg for Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. I have to pack up stuff, take the camping stuff out, put in stuff I'm going to bring, displays, things like that. But you can see the nice campsites behind me. But that's about it. I'm going to go take a hike and see what we see. I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Alright, this is the trail. It goes back behind the campsites. I'm going to get some new signage put in here. You can see it drops off pretty steep. You can see the trails here, not like they're pristine. I mean, they're manageable. But, you know, in the dark, even for us on trail, it's not easy to move through here. You're tripping over things. And so the place I'm going to bring you is where I saw the land ape, Bigfoot, creek devil, whatever you want to call it. Down over here, so got some hikers here. The campsites are right back up there. Actually, I can still see a little bit of some color of tents. This is where Bluff Loop, they call it campground, basically splits. Now down this side here, where I saw something, was back up here. You go down and it picks back up. Look at this. See how rough this is? Imagine out here at night. You're trying to be blocked out. No headlamp going. I mean, it's almost impossible to not be making noise and banging things. And the reason I'm pointing this out, well, the creeks are all dry, but the trails are wet. That's crazy. Okay, see, this hill we go up here, this is where I got this thermal hit last season. One of the reasons I like to come over here and stay in these campsites, people swear these things have come into the campsites and opened coolers and messed with fires and thrown rocks. Get up this little hill here. You can see this rises here. There's somewhere back in this area here, but up here is where I saw this thing. I'm going to guess back here a little bit, because I remember a tree being in my way when I was in the thermal scope. So back up in here, I could see something move and hear it. And then it crossed, and somewhere in here, I was able to get one clear shot between the trees. Might have even been right here. but you can see this thing clearly. And I've had lots of luck here. You can see it drops down here, goes down like a bed, which can get wet and flood at times, and then goes back up behind the campsites, which are 19 through, I guess, 12 back here. So that's kind of, I'm a little bit winded just humping up here, but that's why I wanted to come here and do a little camping. The guys have been good about coming out, and I haven't been out as much as I should be. But this area behind me here is a hotbed. Now last night I heard something breaking branches. So I think it would have been in about this area here, or a little farther back in. And my thermal scope, you can see how full this is behind me. It's only going to see so far. Where this area here is actually, the canopy is high enough. You hear? I don't know if you heard that voice. That's how close the campsites are. But anyway, I was hoping to see like a branch or a tree down across the trail. I'm not seeing that here. And I see people hiking through with their dogs. I'm going to head back to the campsite, wrap this up. Just wanted to bring you guys along and see exactly what we're dealing with here. And this is just one of many spots. The trick here, or most places when you're doing this, you're out doing some bigfooting, stay near the water. They seem to use the waterways as a highway, or maybe it's just an easy escape to go from one side to the other, knowing that don't have the ability to do that, at least not easily. All right, I'm huffing and puffing. All right, I'm gonna start taking down the campsite. I figured I'd film this 60-second tent disposably, and it does go up and come down quick. The hard part's getting it back in the bag. So I'm just going to move some of my stuff out of the way. I'm going to drop the tent, and just so you guys can see, these are convenient for when you're doing one night like I'm doing here. Even though I got the site for 2, I decided to stay, like I said, it pops back up easy. Tent's kind of wet, but you can see it folds up quick. Now here's the tricky part, trying to get it back in the bag. All right, we wrapped up the adventure in the park. I'm going to start getting ready to edit that video, but I'm already ready and in my location for night 2 for another investigation. So stay tuned. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks.